With inflation skyrocketing, fuel prices at an all-time high, and food shortages already starting, not to mention the unrest which will no doubt occur when several Supreme Court decisions become official, this summer should turn out to be very violent, to say the least. As a result, we've been receiving many more requests for classes specifically geared toward personal and home defense. And one of the most common questions we're asked is, how much ammunition do I need? The answer is coming right up. Stick around. So how much ammo do I really need in an S.H.T.F. situation? The answer is as much as possible. Realistically, however, there are several considerations that you have to take into account when calculating ammunition requirements for yourself and your family. The first thing to consider is that each person in your party who is of fighting age and ability needs to have a primary weapon, preferably a rifle chambered in a battle-tested caliber such as .556 or .762, or a shotgun, and a secondary weapon, most likely a handgun, in a minimum of 9mm. Now, in addition to primary weapons for each person in your party, you're going to want to have several specialty weapons, such as a hunting rifle or a precision scoped rifle, in addition to possibly a varmint rifle. And those would be chambered in calibers anywhere from .22 long rifle up to .308 or .30-06 or whatever floats your boat. In addition, you have to determine your ammo requirements. You have to first consider what you're using the firearms for. So this video will address the use of firearms in a home defense scenario. And we're going to be discussing minimum ammo requirements per person per year in an S.H.T.F. situation. Now, please keep in mind that these figures that I'm discussing are minimum requirements. If you are able to purchase more, if you have the means to purchase more, if you have the ability to purchase more because it's available, buy more. These are minimums. So one of the first things you have to realize is that in the event of some kind of civil unrest or long-term, supply line breakdown and ammo shortage, you might not be able to resupply for a while, which is why I like to think in terms of planning for 1 calendar year. And, unlike if you're in the military, there isn't going to be a Black Hawk or a truck rolling up, dropping off crates of ammo and magazines. These figures should hold you for an entire year because we have to assume that you will not be able to resupply. So you need to determine what your needs are and provide for them now. Because being prepared means being equipped, trained, and ready before a serious event occurs. So in order to determine your ammo requirements, I use a simple metric. A standard combat loadout for the AR-15 or AK-47 platform would be a minimum of 8 standard magazines. When I say standard magazines, I'm not talking about the neutered 10-round magazines that are required in the communist states such as California or the People's Republic of New Yorkistan. If you live in one of those places, either get a moving truck or adjust accordingly. But our discussion today is going to be with standard pistol and rifle magazines. So 8 30-round magazines is 240 rounds of combat ammo. So we're talking about green tip or SS-109 or whatever makes you happy. So let's round that up to 250 rounds. Now for your pistol, 3 full magazines per load, or roughly 45 rounds if you have 15-round magazines. So let's call that 50 rounds in total per loadout of your defensive ammo, whether it's Gold Dot or Hydra-Shock, Cor-Bon, Hornady Duty, whatever flavor you prefer. So now you're going to want to keep available 3 full loadouts of combat ammunition. So for your primary weapon, that's 750 rounds of rifle ammo. And for your pistol, that's about 150 rounds of defensive ammo. So let's round those up to 1,000 rounds of rifle and 250 rounds of defensive pistol. Those are bare minimum loadout requirements, which should last you 365 days, assuming that you're not fighting constantly. Preferably, by the way, all of your ammunition should be in magazines or stripper clips. Now for shotguns, we're assuming we're talking about, let's say, a 12 or 20 gauge shotgun. You're going to want a minimum of 100 slugs, 100 rounds of double-aught buck, 100 rounds of number 4 buck, and probably 250 rounds of birdshot. For a heavier rifle like a hunting rifle or precision scoped rifle, I would consider 250 rounds of quality match ammunition to be sufficient. And for a varmint rifle, such as a 22 long rifle, I would recommend a minimum of 5,000 rounds. 22 ammo is very inexpensive, it's readily available, and there's really no excuse for not stocking up on 22 ammo. And then there's practice. Now, gunfighting is a very perishable skill. It has to be practiced regularly. Most of your weapon handling, dry firing, trigger reset practice, magazine changing, malfunction clearing drills, and all of those other types of practice that doesn't require the gun to actually go bang can be safely done at home for free anytime. All you need is a handful of snap caps or dummy rounds. This type of dry fire practice, as we call it, should be practiced every day at home. Range practice, assuming you can get to a range, if you're dealing with an S.H.T.F. situation, the range might be your backyard. But range practice, or at least practice while not in actual combat, should take place a minimum of twice a month. Whether you go to a range to practice or you go someplace else, you should go with a specific plan in mind as far as what drills and what things you plan on practicing. Specific drills or skills that you want to work on, and not to just burn down a couple of hundred rounds and make a lot of expensive noise. That is not quality practice. You should be able to get in a high quality range session with 3 magazines of rifle ammo and 3 magazines of pistol ammo. So let's call your typical range session 100 rounds of rifle ammunition and about 50 rounds of pistol ammunition. 2 times a month, that adds up to 100 rounds of pistol, 200 rounds of rifle per month. We can round that up to 1,500 pistol and 2,500 rifle rounds of range ammo per year per person. If you have 4 or 5 people in your home or family or group who are of military age and able to handle firearms, they should each have their own firearm, which means you need this number or this round count for each firearm that you have. Now, for a shotgun or a precision scoped rifle, for practice ammunition, you figure 25 rounds of precision scoped rifle per range session and 25 rounds of shotgun ammunition per range session. So that's 600 rounds per year of each for practice. For a varmint rifle, you'll probably go through about 100 rounds of 22 long rifle per session. So you figure twice a month, that's 200 rounds a month or 2,400 rounds a year. You're also going to want to make sure that you have a comprehensive replacement parts kit for each firearm that you have. If you break a spring or wear out a part, that gun can become useless. And then you can only use it to cannibalize to try to fix your other guns. For a few dollars, you can easily put together an essential replacement part kit for just about any firearm. Now, if you start to add these numbers up, it might seem like a lot, but I promise you it really isn't. These are minimum numbers. In ideal circumstances, obviously you want as much ammunition as possible. I personally feel that 10,000 rounds per weapons platform is probably sufficient. Speaking of which, ammunition that is stored properly will outlast you. Keep it in an ammo can in a cool, dry place, and you won't have any problems. Moisture is the biggest enemy of ammunition. So if you throw some desiccant pouches into some surplus ammunition boxes, close those up and put them away. They'll be good when you take them out. So thank you very much for watching. We'd love to hear your opinions about this video, so please drop your questions and comments below. And remember to stay prepared, stay safe, God bless you, and God bless America.